People Make Paignton.
Nev has worked in the community for over a decade and has done so many amazing things for Paignton.
I facilitate different activities, could be sports, could be events, arts events. So I would say I'm immersed. There's a place in Paignton called Great Parks Community Centre. And I was doing a bit of work in there. I was asked to go in and just help out with the Mad Hatters. I think it was an activity club. And at the time, I'd been approached by a school to help them do more work around diversity. When I left there, I had the idea of developing a play, which we've written now, called Farewell Jamaica. And while I was in the centre, I bumped into another lady who looked different to everybody else because she was a person of colour. So immediately I went up to her and said, "How you doing? What brings you here?" And then she tells me that she's a creative writer. So within 2 weeks, we had a play together, we performed it. And that's one of the things I remember that sparked my creativity. I got to know somebody who was another creative, but it was in an environment where it was totally unexpected. Personally, I'm a collaborator. I like to think I'm genuinely invested in people, so I don't find it hard to be representative of the community. There was times where I wasn't that expressive. I kept most of my ideas to myself, and the moment I started expressing them and sharing them, other people were saying, "Well, oh yeah, that's a good idea. Have you heard of this person? Have you heard of that person?" I suppose it's just be curious to find out what's there and know that every one of us has got a gift. Sometimes other people need to know what your gift is. And someone like me and a few other artists and a few people that I connect with, I'd say one of our gifts is recognising the gifts in other people. It's about what I've had to do is find the people who can collaborate and be generous with their information. I remember the first time I came to Paignton, and it was around Christmas time, and I was working as a chef. And I remember working in this care home, and the first thing that somebody said to me was, "Look, I know you're a chef, but the residents here don't like spicy food." So I thought, well, fair enough. What they didn't realise is that I'm from mixed heritage. My mum's white Irish, my dad's Jamaican. And because my mum's from Liverpool, they're really good at making roast dinners, just as an idea. So by the end of that shift, they were all drinking my gravy. So I thought, well, fair enough. You had an assumption that I was just going to be cooking a certain kind of food, but you were surprised. And there's been other instances like that as well, where people don't really understand about a person's culture because of all the things they've seen on media. A lot of people assume that there's no activity around cultural diversity when you go past Bristol. And here, there's a rich history of it, of people coming here, interactions, contributions. I just would like to see more people interacting rather than everybody staying separate. Now, someone like myself who's from an inner city Birmingham area, I didn't really know that many artists. And when I used to hear about people who were artists, I thought that was miles away from me until I started looking into it and realised, look, you can be an artist and you can be creative if it's encouraged. I think the best thing I think I can do to communicate art will be to make it as simple as possible. People say, that's not art, you need to do real art, get a real job, do this, do that. And I think once we lose the way of simply explaining art, we're going to miss all the opportunities to encourage emerging art. I'd like to see more people out and about actually connecting, sharing, attending different events, arts exhibitions, performances, sharing more of their stories and things that connect us rather than disconnect us. I haven't had many days recently where I don't wake up with purpose. And I'm a driven person because I'm around people who I know want to make a change. I'm ex-military, so I suppose I've had a different sense of purpose in my life. And I've been around some real incredible mentors who've inspired me. Developing my entrepreneurial spirit and nature has helped me, because it means that I can stay open, curious, and yeah, I look at life very differently. So yeah.